What's up? Today was a pretty rough day. Recording this at night, but two losing trades today. Also broke another one of my rules. I made a rule where I'm only allowing myself to lose a maximum of $300 per day, and I lost 500 today. So that's just a broken rule. What can I say? And I won't ever become profitable until I submit to those rules and frameworks I set up for myself. But so two losing trades. So my overall bias was bullish for the whole day, which it ended up being so. But we had finally closed outside of this 4 hour imbalance, I believe, right here. And so ignore all this drawings after this is for tomorrow. But we closed outside of this, and so I wanted to see us go higher. So drop down to the smaller time frame. I wanted to see these highs up here get hit today, which they did later. But basically, market opens right here, and we close above these highs here, which normally so I saw this as a change of state of delivery, and normally I look for manipulation to go higher. And so, what threw me off was I didn't really know if we were just sweeping buy side liquidity right here with this leg up. I didn't know if we were sweeping liquidity or getting an actual change of market structure. So, which on the 5 minute I thought we kind of were. So once we got that change state delivery, which I thought it to be, I wanted to see a retrace into the candle that did that, and that was this candle right here. That was this fair value gap. I wanted to see a retrace into that fair value gap. So I entered long once we got into it and immediately got stopped out. Price then ran down and balanced out this lower buy side imbalance. And from there, I was thinking, okay, this is where we finally go higher. I just got in a little bit too early. So we got a 1 minute inversion right here. Maybe turn this inverse for value gap. We got a 1 minute inverse for value gap right here. So I entered on the candle close outside of that right here, and I still targeted those highs. And nope, right through stop loss. Ended up going lower and taking pre-market lows. We took news low, which I should have seen. I didn't even see news low. We took news low, which was also our London low, and we took our Asia low as well before going higher. So moral of the story is that usually before going higher, we should be going lower. Before going lower, we should be going higher. And so when market opens and we come up, and I think we just gotta change the state of delivery, but we didn't even sweep any liquidity before that. Like even pre-market, we didn't sweep any of this liquidity down here. So today would have been better for shorts. That would have been probably something around here, probably like a pullback to we would have got the inversion for value gap right here, and then we would have got an inversion. I probably would have entered around here. My stop probably would have been here, so I would have got stopped on that as well. But I mean, just being honest with myself, and then I would have, done something like that to the news low. But that still would have been a much better trade than what I did today. So basically, I need to wait for liquidity to be swept or manipulation in the opposite direction of where I want market to go. So if I want market to go higher, I want to see something lower first. And when we open and we don't sweep any liquidity, we just get a move down to an imbalance. That should kind of be a signal for me that I should not be looking for longs. Instead, I should wait for something down here. For instance, news low gets swept. News low gets swept and Asia low, London low, all that, for example, and then find something within here. Obviously, I wouldn't trade outside the hours that I normally do, but that could have looked something like this. Could have been like this inversion right here. Look at this. Um, we get an inverse fair value gap right here. We also have change of state delivery right here on the small time frame. Just right here, we get a little one. And so then we have a pullback to this range right here. And we also tap into this little tiny 1 minute fair value gap right here. So I could have had my stop. Well, I would have got in on the inversion. I probably would have got in around here. Could have had my stop below this candle, or even below this 1 minute inversion. Probably would have had this body, and then I could have targeted where I wanted to see us go initially. That's kind of unrealistic. That's a ridiculous trade, but I could have targeted like here, for example. So that would have been a. I should put my stop at the. Yeah, so I mean that's a much more realistic trade that actually aligns with my model, whereas everything up here was just more so hoping. Not a fan of that at all. So, and then if we look at this too, that also just lines up so much better because we actually are inside of this 1 hour at the same time. So we're inside this 1 hour fair value gap right here. Inside of 1 hour, which is part of my model, there's probably an SMT in there as well. Let's look. Let's see if there's SMT in there. There's yes, we have an SMT there as well. We have an SMT inside a higher time frame fair value gap. That's what I want to see. And then we have our, then we narrow it down time frames even more. We go in, we have our change in state delivery. Even if I was entering on 5 minute, this would work because we have our change in state right here and then a pull back to a fair value gap. Fair value gap holds. So 1 minute and 5 minute would have worked out here. But yeah, that's really a much, much better long than what I had this morning. Because if I want longs, I want to see us manipulate lower first. And if I want shorts, I want to see us manipulate higher first. So today was much better for shorts because we sweep buy side liquidity first, which would have been this right here. Sweep buy side liquidity, and then we have our we get our change in the state of delivery on this candle here. When we close these bodies, close above below these bodies, so that would be our 5 minute change in the state. And so if we go down to the 1 minute, 5 minute change in the state here. I would have got stopped out in this too, but that would have been a pullback to this fair value gap, and then I would have probably went short right in here with the stops right here and take profit down there. So again, I would have got stopped, but that's the model, and it doesn't matter if I take a loss on that model because that is what I'm looking for. I mean, hopefully there would be an SMT as well. Let's see if there was. Where are we? Okay, we're over here. Let's see if there's SMT. So if there's no SMT, that's also just a little bit different. So there is not an SMT at the highs. Well, there's SMT at these highs here. There's SMT at these highs. But there's not an SMT at these highs, which is probably what I'd be more focused on. Or no, I would be focused on these. So there was SMT as well. So like this is would have been a much better trade than what I took today. What I took today was outside of the model. And if we zoom out to the higher time frame here, let's go like here. We're also within a I believe we're inside a 1 hour fair value gap right here. Yes. So we were in this 1 hour fair value gap, respecting it. And if I wanted price to truly go lower, to deliver off of this, that would also be another confluence. So we're inside a fair value gap, SMT, change state delivery, pull back to a fair value gap that created the change in state delivery, which in this case is this one here. And that would have been a much, much better short. That's part of my model. And if I failed with this model, then, that's just part of trading. I'm gonna take fails. Yeah, so moral of the story is that I traded with outside my model today, and I broke a rule. So if I truly want to be profitable, I can't be doing that. So, and also I've been trading like every day. I mean, not every day will the market present my model. I have to realize that. So we'll see if it presents my model tomorrow, and if it doesn't, then I'm not going to take a trade. I have to hold myself to that. So yeah.